1, 2, 3, clap. Hi, and welcome to Hey Buddy, Nice Podcast. Over there in Scotland, walking 500 miles just so they can walk 500 more, that's Brogan Hastings.
And coming in from a land down under, smiling and handing me a Vegemite sandwich, is Wayne Giovinazzi.
And you're taking that Vegemite sandwich and throwing it on the ground in disgust, because you are disgusted by Vegemite.
Yes.
It's sacrilege. I'm not disgusted by it. I don't love it. I eat it and I enjoy it, but it's not a staple. It's not a go-to.
It's what we would describe here as fucking boggin.
Boggin. Boggin sounds like an action you would take after eating something.
That's kind of the idea, yeah. Just, that's fucking disgusting, man. No.
Yeah, it's Vegemite's fine. I enjoy it. It's edible. It's edible. Let's go with that. Technically edible. It is technically edible.
Okay, everything's technically edible once.
If you're brave enough, yeah. Moody octopus, edible. Jiggly piggly, edible. But you...
That's why I said once.
Once, yeah. I mean, well, you can't eat it again. Well, I guess technically... No, we're not going there. So you actually were walking like 500... Not 500 miles, but you were going for a bit of a walkie, weren't you?
I took a walk yesterday. Not yesterday, Friday. I forget what day it is. I took a walk the last time I was in the office in Edinburgh, because I like to walk up to the comic shop and have a neb. And it's not a short walk. It takes me my entire lunchtime to walk up there and walk back.
And how long is your lunchtime?
An hour.
Oh wow, you get an hour lunch. Do you have any other breaks during the day?
No.
No? Okay, so that's why it's an hour. Got ya.
Yeah. So I walked up, and the way I usually walked up, I noticed like all the roads were blocked off, and I'm like, what the actual fuck is going on?
Dead body.
And then I realised, I mean, you're not far off, it was a funeral.
Oh, hey. Guessed it.
I didn't realise that at the time. I thought it was some kind of ceremony or something, but...
A funeral's a ceremony? What are you talking about?
No, I thought it was like a graduation ceremony.
This person did graduate to death.
But they were all lined up. It was
there was more than one body? They were all lined up?
No, there was a fireman's funeral, and it wasn't even a procession. They were just standing out there, and it was like, like a police academy, graduation kind of thing.
So all the firefighters were standing there, just like, it looked like they were waiting for a fire to break out, but it was actually just this other firefighter's
There was
funeral.
A speech going on. I didn't pay much attention to it, but they blocked off the road, so the path either side you could walk on, but you couldn't cross the road to get to the other side. I was like, what the fuck? And it was like all the way down the road. So I was really pissed off at that. I managed to get to the comic shop.
What was the casket there? Was it in view?
I couldn't see a fucking thing. There was a lot of people. Obviously, a lot of people knew what it was because there was people standing watching. Because I was just kind of interesting if it was an open casket or closed casket, but then I'm like, it's a fireman. Probably died in a fire. It would have been closed. Yeah. I think he did. So one of probably our most iconic shops, Jenner's, didn't so much burn down, but there was a fire in it, and from what I can understand, he died in that fire. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. So when I went to the comic shop, when I was coming out, I thought, right, I'll go down the other way. Because obviously there are multiple ways to get back down. As cities work, there are multiple routes or routes to your destination. Yeah. So I thought, well, I'll go down the other way. And that was all fucking blocked off as well for fucking roadworks. Oh, I thought you were going to say for the same firefighter. No, for roadworks. So you couldn't... It's like one of these things where half the road's blocked off and you have to go into the middle to then cross the road and... So fucking hell. This was in the Berg or the Weege? The Berg. The Berg. So it was in Edinburgh. Look at you showing off your Scottish knowledge. It was things we were talking about before. So it was in the Berg. I'm assuming the Berg is not set up like a city like New York where you've got lots of blocks and streets and avenues crossing, so you can't just go up a block to get around kind of thing. No, I mean, I'm quite lucky in the sense that the way I'm going, there are multiple ways to get back down. Yeah. But yeah, no. It's essentially a big circle that I have to walk every time I do it. And sometimes it's a bigger circle than others. But it's literally, for anybody who knows Edinburgh, it's from beyond one end of Princes Street to the other end and back. So, but if it's when you're walking to the comic shop,
sometimes the circle is bigger? Is that because it's a pop-up comic book store and just moves location all the time? Why would it be sometimes longer?
So it depends which way I walk back. So it's the same distance. So the way I walk to the comic shop is always the same. I go up past the castle. Yeah, and I go there.
That just sounds so weird. I just walk past the castle.
I do. I walk past the castle and to the comic shop. Now, to get back from there, what I can either do is come back the exact same way.
Past the castle.
Or, yeah, so that's like a very flat circle. Or I can come off slightly earlier and go down to the middle of Princess Street and then walk.
And if you go that way, you're past the lock.
There is no lock, sadly. But the way I happened to go was I went from the comic shop straight down and onto Princess Street from there. So that's like right at the end of fucking Princess Street. And had to walk all the way back along.
So you keep saying Princess Street, and that makes me think... Princess.
As it belongs to... as it belongs to the prince.
You were totally saying princess. 100%.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you
Princess
were.
Street. Princess.
To me, it sounds like... Prince. Okay, yeah.
See, I would say princess.
Yeah, okay.
That's
princess.
Fine.
Princess. Yeah, my bad. But all I could think of was Princess Road in, like, wherever that shithole is in Perth. Whatever suburb, terrible place. Princess Road Tavern was all right, though. Went there a couple of times. Had a good feed. I did have to go past the bush to get there, though. That's what we've got. We don't have castles. We do have some castles. Used to have some castles. One of the pages that I still follow on Facebook, because I haven't unfollowed them, is Lost Perth. And the other day, they had a thing posted about miniature castle gardens. And it reminded me that I've been there as a child. And it's basically little small houses and stuff that you can go into, like done up, themed and that. But the only one I remember is the actual castle. And I'm sure we had a photo of it because I've seen it multiple times. There's a photo of my dad sitting on sitting on the throne. That means something different in Australia. Sitting on the king chair. And then on the wall, like, pinned to the wall is a crown or a king hat, they're known. And as a kid, I just remember it being so high up there. But in reality, it was probably only like 2 feet off from like the top of the chair or something. That's the castle I know of.
I was actually thinking this on Friday where I was walking past. I mean, I could, if I wanted to. It would be illegal. But it would be very easy to climb the very short fence. So where you're walking is, because obviously Edinburgh Castle is sat on top of a volcano. So
okay, it's active or dormant or deceased? Dormant.
I don't think it's ever blown or it's blown a long time. But
sorry, I almost choked.
But still, the path I'm walking, there's up a little hill that's very steep, and then you can see the castle. And I'm like, there's a very short fence in front of it, and I'm like, it wouldn't take much to climb this wall, to climb the fence, and just go up to the castle and sit there. Why
would that be illegal?
Because you have to pay to get into the castle.
Oh, okay. How much is it to get in the castle? Is it like £1?
I don't think it's extortionate, but it's like 15 quid.
Oh, no, it's not worth it then. Because if it was like 50p, you would take that every time, surely.
Yeah, I would walk up,
It just saves
and just
money.
chuck a 50p at somebody.
Yeah, be the change.
Be the change. But yeah, I have thought about that, but I wouldn't. But yeah, no. So it was a long fucking walk back to work.
So is there like, multiple routes to get to where you want to go, but is there like, it's hard because Perth is such a non-city city, and it's so small that I know so many different ways to get to wherever I'm going, and I don't have to look at maps or anything. Is that what it's like in Edinburgh?
A little bit. I mean, there's certain routes that I don't know that like places I know, but to get to them, I'm still like, I don't know. I haven't walked those routes enough to know how to get there.
Now, if you wanted to go to anywhere in Edinburgh, could you walk there from the office? Or is it too big of a place? In the town, city, whatever you want
to... I could walk anywhere in Edinburgh city centre.
Okay, cool.
In Edinburgh itself, because I think... I suppose it depends how far Edinburgh...
Yeah.
extends.
Exactly, because there is a city of Perth, which is huge, and then there is the city, the CBD, which yeah, easy to walk anywhere in the CBD. Unlike Melbourne and Sydney, no, not possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably physically possible to do it, but I mean, you're talking like a good couple hours.
Yeah, you don't.
And I'm saying that as someone who once walked. So the reason I'm thinking this is because there's a shopping centre called the Gyle, which is like outside or like on the edge of Edinburgh.
The Gyle. Is this Guile from Street Fighter, or is that what his name is? Guile? I don't know.
Gyle.
Okay, got ya.
Which my car seems to think is Gale. Me just saying Gale. So every time I shout at my car to message Mum, it says leaving Gale now. Yeah, fucking you. What's
does your Maps program speak to you in a Scottish accent?
No.
Really? Interesting.
Really?
Mine speaks to me in an Aussie accent.
I mean, I think it's an English accent, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay. So it's just UK is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, I have walked from the Gyle to when I was going to university to there, and that was a good few hours. I've walked from there to Ocean Terminal, which is the other end of Edinburgh. And that was a good few hours. That was a long time ago.
When you're saying guile, it sounds like you're saying like girl. It's like, all the good guiles and boys. That's what I'm hearing.
The only reason I know that I couldn't mesh those two up is because girl is
has an R.
It's got more
it's got an
R. Yeah.
It's got an R in it.
R.
Yeah. See, I was saying it like a pirate. You looked like an angry dog when you said it there. Yeah, that's it. Angry dog. New comic. We got sad pirate and angry dog. But so what was your revelation while taking this walk?
Oh yeah, so as we know, I've been on the potato diet, lose a little bit of weight. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but when I was halfway back to work, I was like, shit. I'm going to say something very Scottish. My breeks are falling off me. Breeks are hanging to Mars, which is,
pants are hanging to your butt.
Yeah. And one of the shops I pass on the way there is called Primark, however you pronounce it. But it's a clothing shop.
Primark.
Yeah. And it's relatively cheap. I get some stuff out there. It's the kind of thing the place you get holiday clothes that you're not bothered if you leave them behind.
Oh, okay. So clothes to buy for holiday, not like Christmas-themed clothes.
No, I mean, yeah, like stuff that you're not really worried if it gets ruined because it's not, it's not expensive, it's not high quality. So I thought, well, I'll go in there and I'll either buy a belt or a pair of jeans. Because it was really hot, I was sweating. I'm like, and then I seen both a belt and a pair of jeans.
Oh,
because I've been looking for jeans that, I've said this to you before, cuffed jean joggers.
Joggers? No one's jogging in jeans.
No one's jogging in jeans.
No.
But it's the style, with the, the cuffed waistband, the cuffed things. And usually the ones in Primark are all, like, ripped, trendy kind of tee.
That kind
I've tried them before. I put my foot through the hole in the leg and was like, nope, taking them back.
I thought you meant in-store, just in the change room.
No, but no, these ones just plain looking jeans, and I thought, fuck yeah, I'll take them.
Yeah.
Got back to work, put the belt on, and went, oh, that's why I don't like belts, because it was sticking into me. Wow. Changed into these jeans, and holy fuck, these are the most comfortable jeans I have ever worn in my life. I'm not going back to wearing normal jeans.
So it's just like elastic waistband, or does it have like a fly and button?
These ones don't. I do have a pair, because I've been trying to get them specifically for Vegas.
Of course.
I do have a couple of pairs that have like button fly, but no, these ones are just slip-ons, and they're so fucking comfortable. Holy shit.
Do they have pockets?
They have very deep pockets.
Good. Now, this belt. I'm not quite sure about this belt and what you're not liking about it. Is it leather or is it fabric, or faux leather, or is it fabric?
It's like faux leather.
Okay, so yeah,
So the problem with belts is when I sit down, I've still got a little bit of a stomach. I've got a spare tire, right, that hangs over where the belt is. So the belt digs into the fucking tire and hurts and is uncomfortable. Okay,
see, one, I've given up on leather or vinyl belts for comfort factor because thingy belts, fabric belts with that buckle that you lift up instead of holes in it. Yeah, a lot better. And it's very handy for work because I can just sort of like hook the ladder onto me and carry it like that. It's just easier. Now, it's also about placement. I wear my pants not old man style, but also not young whippersnapper style either. So I've not got it up to my nipples and I'm not showing my butt, but it's probably higher than most people wear their pants. So I don't have that spare tire uncomfortable issue going on.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know.
I mean, it would be quite nice. I think I did get to that point at one stage, but it was many years ago. But I don't think I will ever get back to that point. Not saying it's not possible, just I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. I don't wanna. I'm quite happy with my stretchy jeans, thank you.
There you go. Stretchy pants are the way to go.
They really are, honestly. I bought them and I was like, man, is this going to look like maternity wear or old people wear? Nope, it really doesn't. Stretchy
pants, Velcro shoes, and zip-up shirts.
I have a bit of confession to make. I don't have Velcro shoes, but I have replaced most of my laces with the rubber ones, so you could just slip your shoes on.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
It's a good idea. Yeah, because I was tripping over the amount of times I was tripping over my laces, and I thought, you know what, fuck this. Amazon, stretchy laces, fuck yeah.
I haven't even heard of these. I'm going to have to look into them. Stretchy laces. So it's just rubbery, stretchy elasticity. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about buying some new laces for my Rainbow Lightning Bolt Converses, and because they're white laces, so they've gotten dirty pretty quick. So I might look into stretchy.
Yeah.
Now, when you go clothes shopping, are you the kind of person that is going to try on these clothes at the store, or do you buy, take home, try on, and then return if you have to?
I buy, take home. Very rarely. I mean, I might try on at the shop. Depends on where I am. Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
If it's like, I mean, this is many, many, many years ago. For when I graduated, for my graduation, I got a dress, and these dresses were not cheap. So that was a try-in the shop, and then I've gotten expensive pairs of jeans that I'm like try on in the shop, then decide. But like Primark stuff, I'm like, no, buy it, take it back. If it's somewhere that I know I'm going to be able to get back to.
Yeah, easy access. All right.
Yeah.
How many times since graduation did you wear that dress? I've got to guess.
Maybe once.
Oh, my. I was going to say 0, so I was pretty close.
Maybe. It's probably more likely 0. It was a nice dress, don't get me wrong. I just don't like wearing dresses, It's kind of a hard one because don't get me wrong, I picked out the dress.
Yeah.
There was two dresses that I had specifically. One was a blue sort of silk thing, and one was the white one in my graduation one. Both dresses I picked out, both looked really nice, but I look back and I'm like, that's not me. That's not the same person.
There you go.
It's an entirely different person wearing those.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know. I don't think it would be weird. It would be unexpected if we were to go out somewhere and you showed up in a dress, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was even unexpected, when I put the dress on. Like, for my prom at high school, I got proper dressed up. I had dress on, I had makeup on, I had my hair done, and my best friend at the time, Sam, walked right past me.
Oh.
Because he didn't recognise me. I went, Sam! And he's like, oh, shit!
Oh, you remind me of something as well. We don't call it prom or prom, whatever it is. It's the formal, the graduation formal, whatever. But for American sake, it's the prom. And for some reason, Shannon didn't go. Oh, I remember why Shannon didn't go. Because he asked someone to go, and they were like... He asked the exchange student. That's right. Yeah. And they were like, oh, that's very sweet. Nah. But I was going because my friends were going. Other friends. But I think I've mentioned Daniel Mann in the past. D-Man. He was there wearing his favourite colour, yellow. Full suit, yellow, right? Mr. Beard, a.k.a. Mr. Facial Hair. There'll be stories about him when Shannon eventually makes his way over to the studio, aka my house. But Mr. Beard was the one in charge of filming the event, right? So he had his camcorder, taking the filming memories. There was candles on the tables, right? Someone blew out a candle and hot wax went all over Daniel Mann's rented yellow suit.
Shit.
So he's gone into the restrooms to clean this up.
Mm-hmm.
About 30 seconds behind him is Mr. Beard with the camcorder following him into the restroom.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Right. Well, first of all, that's a no-no. Like, you don't take any filming or recording devices into a restroom. I think that is punishable by law. But the footage looked questionable at best with him trying to get this wax that did not look very pleasant off of his yellow suit in a vigorous motion.
Yeah.
And Mr. Beard proceeded to show this footage to his classes. I do not understand the thought process there. It's like,
no,
he mustn't be a teacher. I don't think he's old enough to be dead, but surely old enough to be retired.
Yeah.
Oh man, that guy. Both of them, frankly. Those guys. Fuck. So far, we've gotten through one thing on the list, and that was pants. Yeah. You've already said one Scottish phrase today, but you learnt a new Scottish phrase.
I did. So my boss, Derek, usually works in Glasgow. He was in the Edinburgh office on Friday, and he was talking about something, and he said, "Do you know what crumming is?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, I think you're too posh for that." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." So crumming in the wind.
So what? That's not what? Huh? What?
Crumming in the wind.
Okay, sounds very much like something very, very different.
Crumbing into the wood.
Wood. Okay.
Yeah, and basically what it is just crushing something like that, grinding the point home.
I figure it's like old-timey pharmacists grinding their stuff on the wood thingy with a... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Crummin'.
He's like, yeah, it's a very...
Crummin'. Into the wood. Wid. Into the wid.
Yeah, there you go.
Crummin' into the wid.
Crummin' into the wid.
Okay. Now, is Derek it's either a Ouija or a burger?
We should explain this. I call the Glasgow the Ouija.
Yeah.
And Edinburgh's the Burg.
And I understand why. It's because people from Glasgow are Glaswegian. Thank you, Billy Connolly. I know that. And the Burg, obviously, Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Derek is from the Ouija. He is a Ouija.
Yep. Is he very Ouija?
He's quite Ouija.
Yeah.
This will only make sense to people who know. So this is like a joke for you, mother. Derek is like, when I first met him, he's like Tam from Still Game. Very deadpan humour. The first interaction I had with Derek, he called me a fucking numpty. And the most deadpan voice over the phone. As soon as that call was finished, I then phoned my friend Vicky.
I thought you were going to say HR.
No, I phoned Vicky and I said, Derek just called me a fucking numpty. Does he hate me? And she went, trust me, if he hated you, he would have called you much worse.
Yeah.
And that's how I've learned. Derek's great because our conversations almost never start with work. He spent 10 minutes on Friday telling me to play The Quarry. Because that's coming to PlayStation Plus.
Yes, it's on PlayStation Plus. And also, side note, Evil Dead, the game, apparently, is on PlayStation Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, we can start that. Yeah.
So yeah, and he once turned up to a meeting with me 10 minutes late and then proceeded to spend the next half hour talking to me about old anime.
So it's like, my favourite anime is that Akira.
He said, basically, he was like, you're too young to remember this, but what was it? Ulysses 88 and Battle of the Planets. And Battle of the Planets, they made it all Americanized, and then but you actually read the manga and it's fucking mental. And I'm like, okay, Derek, cool.
Yeah, good one, Derek. See how
and then I find out that the manga's been out of print for years, and when I go to the comic shop, they don't have it.
There are ways to still get it.
Yes.
Basically, you find someone who has it, and you kill them, and you take it from them.
Yes.
Like, without outing how old exactly Derek is, what sort of age would you say? Obviously, he's not a Gen Z. He is probably not a millennial. Do you reckon he's a cusper, maybe?
I would say he's, because I don't actually know his exact age. I would say late 40s, mid to mid 50s.
I was going to say, do you think he is my age or older? So that's fine. Older.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at the very youngest, he's late 40s. At the very oldest, he's like late 50s.
So Gen X, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's part of the next generation. So he would like Pepsi Max, I assume.
Probably, yeah. He was absolutely disgusted with me when I told him, because I was in the Glasgow office on day 3 of the potato diet, right? And I was a little bit ratty. Mm-hmm. Not horrendously. To be honest, day 2 was the absolute worst for me because I was coming off so much caffeine.
Yeah, got the withdrawals.
Yeah, so day 3 wasn't as bad, but I was like, look, I'm a bit grumpy today. I'm not on the caffeine. You know, I didn't want to go into detail being like, I'm only eating potatoes.
Yeah.
But, you know, and he was like, what the actual fuck are you talking about? What do you mean you're not on caffeine? I was like, well, I've cut off Pepsi Max stuff. I don't drink tea or coffee. He's like, no, no. I don't. People have had fight. You know, when I was, so there's another partner in the firm, Joe. It's like, when Joe and I were at the other firm, right? They once switched up the coffee and didn't tell us. Okay?
Hang on. Just a second. I know he's not here, but this is sounding a bit like, oh, you can't hear it, but I'm trying to play it. I pressed the button. It's just sitting there looking at me, and I hit the wrong button. Anyway, let's pretend that the coffee talk theme played. Because this is coffee talk at its core.
It's quite literally coffee talk.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, and they fucking switched the coffee up. I never told anybody to fucking decaf. Or
what?
Like no caffeine free.
Oh,
right?
Fucking hell.
People were, like within hours, people were screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And actual, like almost fucking fist fights in the office. And then they said, oh yeah, we switched up the coffee. It's like, well, fucking no wonder.
Fucking hell.
It's like, so yeah,
your only source, if that's your only source of coffee, then yeah, that is not good. Anyone who's only drinking office coffee has got a problem to begin with, but...
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, in the Edinburgh office, we've got a coffee machine that takes the pods. So it's
I don't mind
bad.
Pods.
I still don't drink coffee, but I'm impressed that we've got one.
Yeah. I did have a job at IINet in the call centre. Shoot me now. Where we had coffee pods, but they were not like your Keurigs or your Nespressos. They were still an Nespresso, but they were like the... I don't know, UFO shape. You know those UFO candies?
Oh, yeah.
Like that sort of shape, like covered in foil. Very weird. Like very, buy this machine for your office looking, basically. And that was fine. I worked out what I had to do to get a coffee that I liked. It was like 2 of these pods and this and that to make it taste good. But I'd still buy a coffee. It's just better.
Yeah, like, I did ask if they had hot chocolate pods.
No.
Which obviously now I can't even have at this point. I do think there are hot chocolate pods available for the Edinburgh machine.
The problem with that is it doesn't make sense. It's smarter to just have hot chocolate and a hot water button.
That's true.
Yeah. It's more cost effective. And if we're about anything on Hey Buddy Nice podcast, it's about effective costs.
Yeah. How did we get on to talking about Derek?
Ouija's and burgers. Look, you're only gonna call them burgers now, I'm sure.
But no, Derek is from the Ouija. Derek works in the Ouija, and that's why I have to go through to Glasgow every Monday. I say that like it's a bad thing. I don't. Yeah. I actually like going through. I prefer going through to the Glasgow office. It's more expensive, but I prefer
it. How much? Like, do you, no, it's not offset by tax. Travel costs, your travel costs would not be catered for, would they? You cannot.
I can claim expenses. I tend not to because quite often going through to Glasgow is my choice.
Okay, got you.
And because I think Derek thinks I get the train in, and I'm like, I'm not getting the train. You silly Billy. No.
Silly
the last time I got the train, I took the train into Glasgow the first time I went. and it's a 45-minute train journey. It took me an hour and a half because we were sat at the second station because the fucking replacement driver never turned up.
Oh.
And then going home, the train was disgusting. There was rubbish everywhere. I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
Trains aren't great.
No,
Trains aren't great.
No. So I mean, so if I claimed it on expenses for mileage, it would be 28 quid. And for parking, if I get the good parking number, the rate, it's 15. Or like last week where I had to stay a bit later, it's 25.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're talking like maybe 50 odd quid a time.
Yeah, not worth it at all. Actually, at the IINet, when I worked at IINet, I used to catch the train in, and yeah, terrible. No one wants to catch the train. And it's at that time in the morning and that time at night, it's sardines. Literally, you can't. You're not going to get a seat. Yeah. You're standing the whole way.
No,
and it's a long way to travel.
Yeah.
And when I did decide to drive, I mean, looking back on it, this was cheap parking, $10 to $15. Now, thankfully, I've got a company credit card, so I don't pay for parking. On my expenses for this past fortnight, sure, there was a bit of fuel. Like I fueled up twice, which is $100 a piece, but it worked out to be about $400 worth of expenses of fuel and parking, and 30 of it was batteries. But it's not doable. You can't. My mom has to pay for parking, and the company she works for owns the parking lot.
Oh my God.
That's just fucking rude.
Yeah, that is rude. I mean, I discovered that, so where I park at a shopping centre called Buchanan Galleries, and I noticed that they do a thing where you can sign up, you can register and you get your parking for like under 5 quid.
That's all right.
For the whole day.
Yeah. For
the whole day, but the stipulation being you have to park 4 times within a month.
Okay. That's not terrible.
So, it's not terrible. It just means that before I go to Vegas, I'm going to have to get in all those. I'm just going to come through to Glasgow all this time, thanks.
You should just be able to give them like 20 quid and then be done with it,
Yeah. But what it is you're billed monthly.
Okay, yeah.
So I just need to figure out, because that's what I thought was happening the last time, because I signed up the night before. And that's why I got back to my car later and was like, oh, you're charging me the full rate. So I'm going to email them with my ticket and be like, the fuck?
At shopping centres, right? How often is it paid parking if you're going shopping?
Probably multi-stories, 90% of the time.
Okay, that's interesting. So there's one place that I know of that is paid parking, and even then, it's if you're there over 4 hours, then it's paid.
Yeah.
See, most of the places say 4-hour limit of parking, and that's it. And that's to stop people. It's to dissuade workers from parking there. But it still didn't stop me when I was working at that other fucking call center, shoot me now. That's what I would do. I'd park at the shopping center, walk over to the office, and then pray that I hadn't been towed away. Okay, that's why I haven't heard. So there's a secret project going on, which I've sort of talked about a little bit without spilling any news about it. But my contact, who who I'm talking about, has just gotten back.
Yeah.
They're currently unable to confirm something because the world's biggest industry they work in, convention, has been going on for the last 3 days. So won't hear back from them until like mid next week. Yeah. See, now, look, they said, this person told me they would get back to me on Monday, right? And this was Saturday. Or was it Sunday? No, it was Sunday. And then I was like, it's okay. They're in America. Monday for them will be a day later. But still, Sunday, I was having stress dreams about it, right?
Yeah.
And I would wake up. I wake up every hour, basically, anyway. And it's your fault. No offense. Because it's just my life now. It's like, oh, I might have a message from Brogan. Better check my phone. And it happens every fucking hour. Sort of, almost. And I was like, oh, I better check to see if I've got a reply from this person. And I swear, one time I dreamed that I looked and it was there and I swiped it away. So now, since then, I've been freaking out. Like, if I've swiped it away, surely it's not going to delete the email. It would still be there. And if I hadn't replied to them, they would get into touch with me, surely. Oh, it's been So basically, I emailed them yesterday and said, hey, I've gone ahead and I've done this. If things need to change, piece of piss easy, I can change it. Ugh, fucking hell.
Stressful lives we lead.
Yeah, right? Why do we do this? Let's just pack it in now. It's like, I'm done. That's over. This is our last episode. This is episode 50 of Hey Buddy Nice Podcast, which we've only just remembered, by the way.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And this is our last. We're done. Man, how can we forget?
I had a stress dream last night. But it wasn't really a stress dream. It was I was already in Vegas. I'd woken up in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get ready, and I had all my clothes. I didn't have any, like no toothbrush, nothing. All the little things you need. I had no underwear, I had no socks, nothing. I was like, I just had thousands and thousands of t-shirts, and I'm remembering t-shirts that I don't own.
See, this is...
I picked out a Gargoyles t-shirt, and I was like, that's fucking awesome, but when did I get that?
It's still a little early for those stress dreams, even though we've been a little bit outed on our travel time.
In the nicest possible way.
While we're at it, we have to shout out to our podcast dads, Ice Cream Social, for playing an audio clip of our show on Ice Cream Social.
Yep.
But no, it's I sent in a scoop mail. I sent them a cheese bag mail, and It was a topic that we'd covered on Hey Buddy Nice Podcast about the time when I went to Macca's, got the coffee, they fucked it up. I was like, you know what, just don't worry about it, because I was like, this is a good "Am I the arsehole" story, and of course it begins with "Am I the arsehole?" straight away. Matt, yes. Paul, yes. Jacob, yes. Special guest Sarah Hester Ross, yes. Me in my car, yes. Brogan in Scotland, yes.
Yep.
But it turns out I'm not the arsehole. I am kind of the arsehole. I don't know. I left out some details. That was the problem. Now,
the thing is that people defending you on Twitter say, well, he's not really the arsehole.
I haven't seen this.
Somebody replied, Jim Mills, I believe, replied to, because I literally tweeted, Wayne, am I the arsehole?
Yeah.
Matt, Paul, and Jacob, yeah. I tweeted that. Yes. And somebody replied to it. I'm sure it was Jim. Let me find it. Who was like, no. There it goes. Me, maybe, but only a little. He was mistaken on what to ask for, and the other person didn't have the knowledge either. They were doing their best, but with incomplete information. They were just two people groping at an elephant in a dark cave. And I'm like, I was so tempted to reply, and I was like, I don't know how to write this without sounding like an arsehole. But Jim, what you're forgetting is that I heard the tone that Wayne used. I have more information than y'all have.
Yeah.
He was the arsehole. You know what? Just forget it.
You know what? Just don't worry about it.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, that is how I said it. Yeah. But the information that was missing, which is irrelevant to the story really, was and I explained this on my drawing stream earlier today. That's right. I did my drawing stream today at an abnormal time because I didn't do one on Saturday. I explained that it was irrelevant that I was asking for I wasn't asking for the wrong drink. I wasn't asking for something that I didn't want. Basically, an iced flat white and an iced latte are the exact same fucking thing, right? It's just that the menu item, iced flat white, doesn't exist on the menu. They just call it an iced latte for an iced coffee with milk. Otherwise, it's an iced long black. They're your two options for your iced coffee. Now, Starbucks, they were saying Starbucks do have an iced flat white on their menu in America. So I don't know what they were talking about. It exists. And Matt talking about, I think it's an American thing, thinking that a flat white is based purely on how the coffee is made. You know, how you pour the milk or how you steam the milk, whatever. No, that's bullshit. Basically, a flat white is 1, less milk. 2, the milk ain't foamy, at all, like a little tiny little bit of foam. That is it.
Yeah, how it's more to do with how the milk is poured into the coffee.
Yeah, not how it's poured. That makes it sound like they're pouring it in a fancy motion, but the milk.
No, the reason. The way, because it's all steamed the same way, and I say this. This is like traumatic flashback memories from having to work in the Walterson's cafe. Yeah.
So did you have to make milk and coffees and stuff? Did you?
Yeah. So with a latte, if I remember, with a cappuccino, you steamed it higher so it was mostly foam, and then poured it out the side of the jug, not the tip. So you got the milk in and then the foam on top.
Whereas flat white is just the...
Flat white is the steamed milk, but it's down in there, so the whole milk is steamed.
Yep.
And then, again, you pour it out the side, whereas with the latte, whole milk steamed, poured out the tip.
Yep.
That's how I remember doing it, but it was like 2017 the last time I had to do it.
I thought you were going to say 20 years ago. What, you were working this job when you were 10? 9?
Yes.
Yeah. See, Kez has been a barista in the past as well. So, yeah, very familiar. And I got to say, it is different at Starbucks, the flat white compared to the latte, both the coffee hot and iced. And my preference is the flat white. And it is a very typical Aussie thing. Most of the time, I feel like an Aussie is going to order a cappuccino, a flat white, or a long Mac topped up. They're more or less your three options, if it's not a black coffee.
Yeah. I don't drink coffee, so I can't contribute to this.
Just got a message from Kez, who has started her world tour of Australia and New Zealand, world tour of Australia and New Zealand, following the one and truly only, their words, Harry Styles. I'm not allowed to say it, but it will have been done by then. But she's gotten very good news, I think, about, because when she went and saw Louis Tomlinson, right?
Yeah.
Very big thing about the lines and lining up and fan-made lines, right? And camping out a day or two beforehand to try and get the best spot possible. Now, Kez, for this show, she's got super duper ultra VIP kitchen pit tickets, right? And she's got an email saying, because there's extreme heats tomorrow, this is what's happening. And it's very good news for her, which is...
Oh, good.
Because I would be surprised I wouldn't be surprised if she hasn't been having stress dreams about this shit. Actually, no, I would be surprised because she probably hasn't been sleeping, stressing about this shit.
I think both of us know Kez well enough to know that the minute she knew she had tarry tickets, she was stressing about this. This
is crazy because she was buying these tickets while we were in America.
Oh my God, so she was.
Yeah, so we were at Disneyland, come home that night from fucking Disneyland, and on the laptop and the iPad and phone trying to get these fucking tickets. It's insane.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The ones I remember is when we were in your room and you and I were sitting on the couch doodling and looking at comic ideas.
I've got it wrong.
And Kez was sitting there in the Ticketmaster.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Getting stressed the fuck out.
I've definitely got it wrong. It wasn't Disneyland because that was when she was watching the Harry Styles live at Coachella. This was just in LA.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing. Oh, God, stressful as shit.
Holy shit. It's been almost a year since we were last in Vegas. That's horrific.
Yeah, right. Well, in Vegas. Not for me. Not for me. I was in Vegas last, May, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because I was in the States.
Middle end of May. Yeah.
For 3 fucking months.
Yeah.
So,
God, I wish that were me.
So during this scoop mail I sent in, Paul went into not Johnny Australia. He was doing an impersonation of me.
That wasn't an impersonation of you.
Sorry.
That was a clip from this show.
My bad. Yeah, they just straight up played a clip of Hey Buddy, Nice Podcast.
Yes.
So we got to shout out our daddies over in the churn who shouted us. That I know. I only called Jim Daddy. My bad. Sorry, King Lord
Thanks,
Mr.
Dad.
Dr. Jimothy Michael Joe Bartholomew Esquire II. Yes. Brogan was saluting during that.
I am now unable to hear his name and not salute. And this is becoming so much more of a bit than I ever meant it to.
I've just probably never seen it because I'm looking up into the sky thinking of each name as I say it, and then I look back at the screen.
I definitely do it every time you say it.
Yeah. And yeah, consensus was, I think, there was just wrongness on both sides, and I think I made it sound like that I might have been filled with anxiety going in and ordering a coffee, which not exactly the case, but yeah, I just don't like talking to people.
Because Sarah Hester Ross was like, oh, well, if it's an anxiety thing, I can understand. But no, otherwise you're an asshole.
Yeah.
No, he's an asshole.
See, last Scoop Mail with Sarah Hester Ross in studio, she gave some very constructive advice. This time, she just calls me an arsehole.
Sarah knows where it's at.
Yeah,
that
that's
feels
right.
weird. Sarah Hester Ross knows where it's at.
So, yeah, it's a three-name.
She's a three-name person.
It's a three-name. It's like the very real Matt Donnelly has a two-name.
Yep.
And Jacob, that just sounds weird saying Jacob. Jacob is a name and title. Jacob, the audio guy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
Jacob,
Paul?
the audio guy.
Is it Paul or Paul Mattingly?
Paul can go either way. Paul works as a one name, but also Paul Mattingly sounds right.
Yep. Did you know Mitzi has a first name that isn't Mitzi or Mitsula? Right?
I did. Do you know how I found this out?
How?
I found this out on fucking Who Scoops.
Really? Oh.
Because I believe Mitzi's episode is up next.
I found out talking to Chris the Microscope because I said Chris on stream.
Uh-huh.
And then, no spoilers there.
He, I think we found out at the same time.
Yeah.
That, like, me and Chris were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, this is not right. No, it's just Mitzi. It's Mitsula.
It's just Mitzi.
That is it.
Yeah.
See, I'm going by first name truncated surname, I think, is my go-to. Because it's Wayne Geo.
Ah.
But what's weird is Joe Vanazzi, but I go by Wayne Geo instead of Joe.
That's true.
That is
true.
a weird
Matt
name.
referred to you as Wayne Joe.
Yeah.
Somebody referred to you as Wayne Joe.
They said that's because of the whole Joe Vanazzi, the jersey. Man, I could not remember
Joe
where
Vanazzi.
the very real Matt Donnelly was from.
He's just done a couple of shows there.
Yeah, yes. They've already happened then.
Yeah. They were sold out, so we couldn't have advertised for them.
Both of them sold out in the end, were they?
They're both, I believe, well, I know the first one was in New Jersey. I think, because I'm thinking the day before he'd done his first New Jersey show, he done one in Elkton. And that was sold out.
Yep. But the second one in the venue of his hometown and that, yeah. I'm sure it was good. I'm sure the numbers were respectable. You don't need to sell out to have a good time. Let's go with that. Because when I saw the Mind Noodler performing, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4. There was only like maximum 12 of us, and that's probably more like 8 in the theater in the Prestige in San Diego. Good with, I think, very different maybe because we saw Matt perform at Scoop Fest as well. And very different. I it felt more intimate with the small audience because I don't think I've told you this part, but so you know when he does the prediction trick that narrows it down, but he where he does the drawing prediction, right? Like someone flips through a book, picks an image, and then he draws it, and then the first attempt is the I can't remember what it says. I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing. And then the second one is the ice cream cone.
Yeah.
He has a stand, an easel made of fishing rods, right? To prop this up. When he was trying to set it up, he pulls it out of his case, put in the thing. It was just kept on collapsing. It wasn't standing up for fuck. It was hilarious to watch, but at the same time, I know I'm not meant to be laughing at this, so I'm going to laugh on the inside. And then afterwards, having a drink with him, I was like, so was that on purpose? Was that scripted, or was that just like fucking broken? It was like, yeah, it was just broken. It's like, that should stay in it as a bit.
Yeah. Very much like when Jimmy's music wouldn't play and he was left standing on stage for a solid 3 minutes.
It was longer than 3 minutes. Well and truly longer.
How much was it?
It was about 5 minutes something. Yeah. Because I've watched it recently as well.
I remember you saying that Kesh had the video and had the exact time in, and I remember it was a long time.
Well, it turns out she stopped recording and restarted recording as well.
Oh, shit.
And then she didn't fucking record the act. It's like, oh, god damn it.
Oh, that was a good show.
It was. We're probably... we could probably hit one more topic before we go art talk. Maybe we go... I've only got a couple of things for license plate and bumper sticker talk. You reckon?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
All right, cool.
We've done coffee talk already. Let's go back to it with license plate.
Yeah, there's been a bit of coffee talk. So it's the music is played. I've edited that in.
Yeah.
So I believe you're bringing something to the table this evening, aka morning for you.
I do, but it's not really license plate talk, but it's probably more in the coffee talk. So
Okay.
I got back to my car on Friday to find that somebody had parked next to me. Which, in general isn't an issue, but I'm going to send you a photo just now.
I'm guessing they park like an arsehole.
I'm going to send you the 2 photos I took and sent to my mother.
I don't think my phone is on silent.
Give me...
I want to hear the notification. There we go. Ba-ding.
There we go.
Let's see. What do we got?
My car is the grey car.
Oh, what the actual fuck? We are calling you out, EJI3PHZ. What the actual fuck in your Ford Fiesta?
And there's nobody on the other side!
Right? They've literally, it's basically door to door. The mirrors, the side mirrors are kissing.
He had dunted my side mirror, which I only noticed when I reversed out and noticed that it was like...
Move.
Luckily, my side mirrors move.
They all do that.
Oh, do they? Oh, well.
Yeah. This ain't the 70s.
But yeah, I was very pissed off. So I sent those pictures to my mum, and with just the caption "wanker."
Yeah.
And Mum said, "What's that about?" And I was like, "I'm tempted to sit here and wait for them, but it's too cold." And bringing it back to license plate talk, my mum said, "Note the number plate, EJ for Egypt."
As EJI, so, yeah. I think as well. Egypt, yeah.
EJ1, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, 1. Calling them out. See, this new job new site that I've been started working at last week before, whatever it was, went to an office of the people who've hired us, but I went to the wrong one. I didn't know this, but they had sitting on the desk a bunch of stickers that say, "You park like a cunt." Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, right?
Oh, please tell me you grabbed some.
I didn't. No.
Go back and get some.
How do you feel about...
I would have slapped one on that car.
Is that the most you would do? Or would... It's possible that some arsehole parked next to the other side of them and they had to sneak in as well. And the parking lot could have been full. Yeah. You know?
It's not just over the line. It's a lot over the line. You know, if the space is that small, you don't fucking park there.
Would you slash a tyre?
No.
Okay, that was probably that was a bit extreme.
I would do, I would leave a note if I had pen and paper. I would leave one of those stickers on the car, or I would sit in my car, which I very nearly did. Sat in my car and wait for them to come back and say, "What the actual fuck is this about, by the way?" Yeah.
I think I've got it.
Actual fuck.
I think I've got it. Dry erase marker. And you write on their windshield. Just like, "You are a cunt," or something. I just remembered both of our mothers listen to this, and I want to tone down my language a little.
But yeah, I mean, I think so. That's ironically, that's at the Gale.
Oh, there you go.
And there's a circus that is set up in the Gale parking. I don't know why, but I think it's to do with somebody trying to rush to get there. But even still, fucking arsehole. Yeah. There's thankfully not a scratch on my car, so I wasn't too pissed off. Right. If there had been a scratch, I would have sat there with the photos and said, "This is what I got when I came back to my car. What the fuck?" I
feel like if my car was scratched, I would have retaliated and like keyed their car or something. But this is back when my car was still fairly new and in nice condition.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
my car needs a wash, but apart from that, it's in nice condition.
Yeah, there you go. We had speaking of Mitzi, I think it was Mitzi who submitted this one to us, license plate, JSUS MMA. Jusisma. I think it's Jesus MMA.
I mean, fuck yeah.
Yeah. But is that like...
I like when I see things like that with Jesus. Like, I've seen a comic, Jesus the Vampire Hunter.
So you're seeing it as Jesus the MMA fighter?
Yes.
Okay, I like it. I mean, there are depictions of Jesus pretty fucking ripped. He could take his own. I'm
pretty sure I've seen a t-shirt as well that's Kung Fu Jesus. I like that.
Kung Fu.
It's canon. Yeah. It's canon.
I'm trying to think of a joke, but it's almost there. I've almost got it. Hang on. No, we'll leave it. It was a Jesus joke about his blood, but then drawing the other guy's blood in the octagon, something like that.
Okay. I trust you.
I saw one license plate that made me a little bit sad. Actually, it wasn't really the license plate, but it was person on their motorcycle. Her motorcycle was green. Mm-hmm. And it was almost more like a dirt bike looking, but a bit beefier than a dirt bike. And the license plate was her frog. And I thought, that's cool. It's a green motorcycle and that.
Yeah.
But she was broken down on the side of the highway. I was like, I feel really bad because this is peak hour. No one's going to be able to get there to help him anytime soon. Too far to wheel it off to the side. Also, roadworks going on as well. So... impossible to get it off the actual highway. So, that makes me feel a bit bad.
But that's a good license plate.
Yeah. It suits the bike. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like I saw a green Mazda 2 Bulbasaur. It was perfect.
Nice.
Now, I did also see, I think I sent you this earlier in the week, bumper sticker. It was a window sticker. And it just simply said, "Tell your dog I said hi."
I've seen those. I love them.
Good.
That's from Dogs Rates. That's from We Rate Dogs.
Yep.
I have a mask that
11
says
out of 10.
"Tell your dog I said hi."
Yep.
Yeah.
It's at the moment it's hard to convince me not to get that as a tattoo. That is a good tattoo.
Yeah.
But it goes against my whole never get writing or letters or writing as a tattoo. I say as I've got the Z ? Tattoo. But you can't misspell one fucking letter, so I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I probably agree. The only thing I would get is signatures. Because I want Penn and Teller signed on my arm.
And an ampersand is also a symbol, so they can't fuck that up.
That's true.
Yeah. That's it for license plate talk. So I guess we should probably do art talk as well, now that we're starting to run into overtime. Extra time, as they call it in the weird sport they play over.
Do we have time?
Yeah, we got time. We can make it. Right, so art talk. Straight up, I'm calling the shots. Rabbit out of a hat. Penn and Teller bi-weekly. Go.
I was struggling to think of a bit for this week and then started watching Penn and Teller clips on YouTube. That bit came up and I thought, I actually really like this bit. Penn makes a good point in the fact that he says, nobody does this. Nobody does this.
Yep.
It's a cliche. And the bit's really funny because obviously the first part is, taking the rabbit out, but the rabbit's a kicker.
Yeah.
And Penn's like, we treat animals with respect, and then yeets the thing off the stage, which cracks me up. And in the Jimmy Fallon version, when Penn takes the wand, he whacks Teller in the face, and Teller does not react at all. And I'm like, oh, honey.
Yep. He is unprofessional.
He is unprofessional. So it was a nice excuse to draw. I think Teller came out really good. The rabbit in the hat came out really good. I'm still not sure on Penn because I had to draw, because his arm, the reference I was using, his arm was at a weird angle. And
No, that looks fine. You're talking about the wand arm, yeah?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That it just looks like it, because you got the suit jacket and it's in a position, it looks right.
That's all right then.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I still think Teller came out better. I'm better at drawing Teller than I am drawing Penn.
I think you've had a lot more practice drawing Teller.
Yeah.
Even if it's just in your journal. But also, that's not the only Teller artwork this week.
No, because Tuesday, 14th of February, Valentine's Day, is also, or better known as, Teller's birthday. And I really swithered about doing this or not. I didn't know if I should or not, because obviously Teller's already had a hunky boy this month.
Hunky boy, yeah.
Hunky Mr. February. So I originally drew one. Legit, I was like, nah. And then I thought, you know what? I'll put a shirt on him. So
you put a shirt in inverted commas on him.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a wet look shirt. I don't think, like, see-through.
Yeah.
I think you can kind of see the nipples. I don't know.
Yeah, you can. They're just peeking. They're peeking through. That's all. It's not wet t-shirt competition. It's tasteful.
Yeah, but I liked how that one came out. Actually,
it's very Magic Mike. That's what it is.
Yeah.
if it had been any more than that, if it had the soaked look or, fishnets or something, then I think Teller's reply, which you got a reply, would have been more than jeepers. Thanks.
I got a reply and a retweet.
Yeah, and a retweet. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I mean, now that you've said fishnets, if either of the two of them is going to wear fishnets, it's going to be Penn.
Yeah, it's got to be Penn.
I mean, there is a picture out there with Penn in fishnets.
Yeah, exactly.
With his titty out.
Yeah, that was that for the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
It was.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so upset that wasn't recorded.
Yeah, but it would have been potato quality because it was 2001, so...
But even then, Penn and Taylor doing fire eating?
Yeah.
Doing fire for two? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you can tell when it's like, I see the same when Piff retweets a comic. The views fucking skyrocket because I'm seeing this 15,000 odd views.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
But also that is not the only Teller artwork this past week.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot.
It's a heavy Teller week.
It really is. So Teller also featured on Tuesday's episode title card.
Episode 48, because Heroes Reply.
Episode 40, Heroes Reply. So I drew him for that. Just a standard Teller with me with heart eyes.
Yeah.
But
bigger heart eyes than normal last time.
Yeah, pretty much. But I specifically didn't like or retweet that so that it wouldn't. Yeah. It wouldn't have a chance to see. Of course,
yeah. Too much. Too many Tellers.
I didn't want to look. Yeah. I could excuse the other two because one's a thing. Yeah. One's his birthday. Mm-hmm. I need. That's why I couldn't do a Teller solo bit.
Yeah, of course. But
that needs to wait until next month. Yeah.
Just hold down there, little champ. Just slow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other title card, I really it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, like from the beginning. Yeah. I think before we even started recording, I wanted to do like a 7-Eleven walk. But the initial idea was like us walking up to the 7-Eleven neon signs and that. But I think how this has turned out was as good as it's going to get in my style.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it a lot.
Yeah. And it's also there's an alt version of it on the store as well, which you can purchase. And I think it looks really good as a tapestry or something like that, as opposed to a shirt.
Encroaching on the ice cream social tapestry market.
Or someone bought a floaty cat tote bag. It would look good on a tote bag.
Oh, yeah.
But instead of what was the title again? Nice long 7-Eleven walk. This says taking a 7-Eleven walk instead. But same thing, just says taking. And instead of episode 49, I think it says podcast juice on the Slurpee cup. So yeah, I like that one. I will eventually get that one for myself. Have you got any other arts to discuss today?
I do not.
This
is the problem. I have many arts to talk about, but nothing I can talk about.
Yeah. Yep. Hence why. See how I managed to do it? I was able to talk about it without talking about it.
I know, but you're talking about adjacently.
Yeah, mine I think is super secret. So I probably shouldn't even be talking about this. Talking about it like I am.
Yours is much more super secret than mine. Yeah. I've just been keeping my secret longer.
Yeah, that's right. Mine has been a week max.
Yeah, mine's just a year in the making.
Yeah, exactly. Screen one, share screen. Okay, so I guess it's probably time for the podcast within a podcast. The not so good at this podcast.
Woohoo!
Do you want to be Piff or do you want to be Jade?
I'll be Piff.
Okay.
British solidarity.
Texas solidarity. I'm not Texan.
Not so good at this.
The first comic we're looking at today is Piff comic number 55, working title Piffentines, and it's 4 panels long. In the first panel, we see Piff manning the store, Piff and Pop's magic shop, and he's talking to Jade and is saying,
"Hey Jade, want to see a new magic trick?"
And in the second panel, Jade replies, "Sigh, alright then, what's it called?" And in the third panel, and there's a big puff of smoke. And in the last panel, Piff has produced a little bunch of flowers and is saying,
"Melting your heart."
That's the comic. There's also a bonus panel for this one as well, where Piff is handing over the flowers and says, "That'll be $12.
Yep,
That's
accurate.
All right, and the other one. Have you seen this one before? This is old. This is comic number 7.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at the style. See, usually...
I don't think I've seen this before.
All right.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I notice most about it? The eyes are smaller.
Eyes are smaller. All wibbly lines. All the lines are not smooth.
It's rough.
I used to draw it in short strokes as a design choice. But yeah, that evolved around. I think it started to change up. And you'll notice that the only colours are the eyes. Grey, the red, and blue, a light blue, are the only 3 colours I used back then as well. And you may also notice that all the text is handwritten as well. It's not my font.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's a very me choice.
A very you choice, writing by hand?
Yeah. If I'm putting speech into anything, it's almost always by hand.
Yeah. The trouble I have with some of this is I don't use speech bubbles. And when it's comics like this where it's just big white above them, that's fine. But sometimes I need backgrounds and shit, and you just can't do it. That's why I started adding a stroke around it as well. So white text with a black stroke. It's interesting to see how it changes. You also see these people don't have hands. They just have little nubs.
Not so good at this.
And the other comic we're looking at today is comic number 70. That's right, it's an old one. Working title, VD. That's not venereal disease. That is for Valentine's Day. 6 panels long, and in the first panel, we've got a guy and a girl, and the girl is saying to the guy, all right, time for Valentine's Day sexiness. And in the second panel, she's starting to take off her shirt. And then the third panel, completely removed, just wearing her bra, and she's saying to the guy, your turn. And in the next panel, the guy responds,
but I'm already naked.
And in the 5th panel, she's looking at him, deadpan, saying, I said, your turn. And in the last panel, the guy is now ripping open his skin to reveal his lungs and ribcage. And she's looking upon this scene very, very amused. That's the comic. See, I cringe at this as well, up the top here. Instagasm and tweet whore.
Oof.
Yeah, it's bad.
You signed it at the bottom as well.
Yeah, that was instead of saying Wayne Geo. It was like a WG instead.
Yeah.
Now that comic got me a ban on R Funny on Reddit. Not because of the content or anything like that. See, what happened was R Funny, basically they hate comics, right? They hate webcomics, all of it. In fact, after this, my next comic I'm going to draw is someone reading a comic, like a comic artist has given someone a comic, they're reading it, it's like, oh my god, this is really good, you should post it on R Funny. And then the next 3 panels is just the artist going, then the last panel, oh, you're serious? And that'll make a bit more sense after this interaction. See, now, R Funny, you're only allowed to post comics on a Wednesday or a Sunday, right? Which is fucking stupid. Their rules, whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't use Reddit anymore for browsing. I just use it for posting.
Yeah.
I was posting this on the usuals, comics, webcomics, funny, right? Because it's on Valentine's Day, February 14th, because it's a Valentine's Day comic. Wasn't giving it any second thought. Valentine's Day fell on a Tuesday. So I posted this to R Funny on a Tuesday. Now, it was up there for maybe half an hour till I got a notification. Usually the notifications are saying, oh, you've got a comment on such and such or whatever. But no, this was a message, direct message, and it says, you've been temporarily banned from participating in Funny. This ban will last for 7 days. You can still view and subscribe to R Funny, blah, 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 blah. Basically saying, banned because I posted a comic on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. My reply was, oops, sorry about that. Got a bit caught up in the Valentine's Day posts. Thanks so much for the warning at least. After all, everyone makes mistakes. Kinda like the time an R Funny mod removed my post that was actually correctly posted on a comic posting day. Sure, it got reinstated, but the comics were never turned back on. All good though, I understand oversights happen from time to time. Cheers. And they replied, you could have just mentioned that the comments were still locked at the time so we could fix it. There's no need to stay silent, then passive-aggressively bring it up later when you're caught breaking the rules. So, I responded, oh, I 100% made a mistake. That's on me. Which it was. I fucked up. I posted on a Tuesday. It's like, it just figured attempt ban for a one-off offense was a bit harsh. Hence my reaction at drawing parallels to mistakes being made. And then I say, by the time I realized comments were still locked, it didn't matter anyway, because in reality, there wasn't going to be much interaction on that comic anyway. And then I ended it with, see you in 8 days. What I really wanted to respond with, but didn't, was, I'll think you find I'm not being passive-aggressive, I'm being facetious.
Yeah.
But that would have been a bit much. Mm-hmm. But then also, what bothers me more than that are some of the comments that have been, usually on this comic, the comments are like, oh, Robbie Williams, because you know that whatever it is, video clip where he's ripping off his skin after he takes off his clothes, and like everyone was like not impressed, and he rips off his skin and then his flesh and that, and then it's just like a dancing skeleton. Everyone's always draws parallels to that. But no, there is some fucking weird comments. I'm confusing the word comics and comments every time. That it's no. It's like, no, this is not called for. This is not. It's like, it's stupid. I don't get it. No. I'm not going to repeat them. You find it on our comics if you want to see the fucking comments, but they're not good.
I've never used Reddit and don't plan to. So
don't. Imager, I enjoy Imager more because it's what I like from it, which is like memes and funny pictures and things like that, and a bit more. And there's less dickheads in the comment. I did it again. Mm-hmm. Less dickheads in the comments. Simple as that.
Why do you still post to Reddit?
Why do I still post to Reddit? Millions of views.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is it, honestly. All right. That's it for art talk, I guess, and probably it for the show as well for this episode. For episode 50, streamers and shit are falling in both of our houses. You just can't see them, and you can't hear the party poppers going off. I've got a bag full of sparklers up in that cupboard right now. During the break, I'm going to get them, and I say break between recording episodes, and we're going to have a sparkler party. Not really. Speaking of art talk, if you've got some art you would like us to talk about, aka art crimes, you can send them to us, admin@nicepodbud.com, or you can go to our website, click the contact form thing and do it that way. You can buy that 7-Eleven walk design. Hey, nicepodbud.com/shop, or you can just talk to us on Twitter, @nicepodbud, or anywhere else where we're on social media @nicepodbud. But if you want to converse directly with Brogan, you can just go on and type in @7billionneedles.
And if you want to speak to Wayne, it's @WayneGeo.
So yeah, hit us up, write to us. It doesn't have to be art related. It can be you can ask us questions about Scotland, about the Proclaimers. Why did they actually walk 500 miles if they knew they were going to walk 500 more? Why not just say, I'm going to walk 1,000 miles to begin with? I mean, into the bin, I say. Anyway, thanks for stopping by and having a listen.
As always, stay fresh, cheese bags.